So much can be talked about the liftback's advantages that its defects will be lost in positive. But the noble check was in her punches. Visit US if you want to know details. Rumors about the sinlessness of Skoda Rapid, apart from the story of the notorious dry DSG-7, turned out to be slightly exaggerated. A car for the secondary market is very interesting, and if you follow the simple rules for buying it, you can make a true friend for a long time. Which, moreover, also burns. The first rule is that the previous owner scooped out all the running charms of the DSG to the bottom. Shamanized a box for sale for 40 to 50,000 kilometers so that it would not flutter under the client, and now you are changing the mechatronics at your own expense. So, if possible, we stay away from the DSG, although, as luck would have it, a very frisky and attractive 1.4 TSI is paired with the robot. A turbo engine with 122 until 2015, or, if later, with 125 horsepower, due to direct injection, is demanding on fuel quality. You have to match. The second rule, we check the history of yellow and white cars, and others with the corrosiveness of an NKVD investigator. They, not investigators, machines, could work in a taxi. And if under the hood, in addition, there is a 3-cylinder gasoline-aspirated 1.2 MPI for 75 horses, then there is no need to check. This is almost a guarantee that all the cream of the whole hefty resource was taken off by the taxi company. In addition, such a motor with a twinkle will not give you a ride, via low VAT. And, finally, the third rule, if, nevertheless, threats and blackmail convinced you to buy a car with DSG and 1.4 TSI, then do not regret a few thousand for turbocharger diagnostics in the official service. We are sure that you will definitely not like changing the turbine, 90,000 rubles plus work, on runs after 100,000 kilometers. Modifications. Skoda Rapid Spaceback. Released since 2013. In 2013, European sales of the station wagon-like Rapid Spaceback hatchback started. A car with this body type was never officially brought to Russia. Unofficially, however, too. And this is understandable. Dry figures indicate that the passport trunk volume of the Rapid Spaceback is only 415 liters compared to 530 for our liftback. By the tone, the loading opening is noticeably inferior here. So there is nothing to regret. We boldly give our recommendation to 1.6 MPI engines with power from 90 to 110 horsepower. Before the 2015 update, it was a 105 horsepower unit with a chain in the timing drive, and besides this chain, 3,000 rubles, and very early problems with the piston, a quickly stopped childhood illness, he has nothing to lose. Incapable of big meanness. Motors 1.6 after the update, with the timing belt, even better. You can pinch your wallet for little things, oil seals, 800 rubles, a belt, 1,300 rubles, an engine support cushion, 6,000 rubles. The most reliable pair of transmissions, MKP-5 and AKP-6 Eisen, also work with these motors. These, together with motors, plow up to 250,000 kilometers without repair. The Rapid body will rust today if the car was in an accident. Kaluga checks were taught to protect the metal from corrosion well. The interior is also nothing to complain about. Even crickets are not frequent guests. The upholstery of the outer edge of the driver's seat is overwritten. But who is not without sin? In the cold, the speakers of the stereo system fail. Well, you can change them to insulated ones. It happens that foam filler cracks under the seat upholstery. Unpleasant. But suspension replacements are predictable. The main misfortune was the creaking stabilizer bushings. But the problem seems to have been resolved. It's too early. After 30,000 kilometers, the shock absorbers fly. The front one is 5,000 rubles, but the ball ones go more than hundreds. The main thing is not to overload the car, since the giant trunk will provoke this in every possible way. Transmission. Precautions for contacts with the DSG robot cannot be described in 2 lines. You have to read the internet and understand. The manual gearbox sometimes passes oil through the oil seals, buzzes with the input shaft bearing, 2,000 rubles, and every 70 to 100,000 kilometers requires replacement of the clutch kit, 20,000 rubles. There have been cases of overheating behind the automatic transmission. Infrequently, the valve block on it will cost under 100,000 rubles, and the cost of a new box, about 500,000, or engine. Troika 1.2 MPI requires higher speeds, 112 Newton meters. Therefore, before others, it will ask for a replacement of the timing chain. Up to 100,000 kilometers it will begin to qualify for a piston bulkhead. But the cost of each reinforced piston on the chain, door styling 1.6 MPI, 105 horsepower, is 15,000 rubles. Possible flaws in the updated 1.6, oil burner, and oil leakage through the camshaft seals in the timing area. The seals themselves are cheap, but the work will require costs. Suspension. Shock absorbers will live noticeably longer if you do not overload the car. Consumables, stabilizer bushings for 300 rubles and silent blocks of the rear beam for 550. Ball, up to 2,500 rubles, go 100,000 kilometers. They can be inexpensively replaced separately from the lever. Front knocking when turning on the left is a common symptom of engine mount failure. Brakes, pads, and discs are changed at typical runs of 40 and 80,000 kilometers. Body. The squeak of door seals is a fairly common misfortune. All the same seals, blocking the door drains, can turn the door cavities into a water collector. It happened that 3 liters of rainwater were drained from here. The most dangerous area of the body in terms of corrosion is the area around the wheels, and the grille simply requires an internal understeady grid. Otherwise, not a cheap radiator is seriously affected. Electric. Depending on the year of manufacture, problems with the VU software that can be fixed by flashing may appear. An incorrectly inserted cigarette lighter during assembly can cause a blown fuse. Many complain about the noise from the air conditioner, which ends with the installation of a new compressor.